Hey everyone, this is Chad Owen with Seven Figure Annuity Sales. Welcome. I was trying to talk like him, though. Welcome. I can't quite do that hick accent. It's like, excuse me, Southern Texas. I don't want to offend any of our Alabama folk either, so I love it. My favorite draw is one of them Tennessee draws, and I can't do that either. But anyway, welcome to this week's podcast, and I'm telling you, I am pumped up. It is amazing when I get away and I actually am able to rest and relax. Mm-hmm. You guys may not know this, but I've actually had nonstop meetings from the beginning of the day till now, and I still feel super energized. Yeah. And when you're in this business, you always want to make that time to get away. I can't stress that to you enough because it's a way to recharge, regroup, build relationships, and that's just what we're all about. So, and if you are in good standing in good relationships, you probably had a pretty good Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, next, let's move on. What are we talking about today, Kate?
Yeah, well, we're going to talk today about age and annuities. And when I say age, we're going to talk about client's age. We're going to talk about young people buying annuities.
Not like a fine wine or
not
brandy,
a fine wine,
something like that.
Yeah, okay. not that kind of age, although maybe on another podcast on another day.
Definitely not.
But age and clients. And one of the things that I've been coming across lately is agents talking about they're coming across young people who are inheriting an IRA or some type of retirement account, and they're curious about, what do I do with this? At what point would a fixed indexed annuity actually be beneficial to this client, et cetera?
Okay, so when you're talking about age, you always have to throw in what type of money is coming in.
Right.
Because non-qualified money, that's easy. But you always specify. So let's say you have a 30-year-old inheriting money. Even when it goes into annuity, you cannot touch it till 59 and a half. It's tax deferred. Now, if you have a 10-year annuity, you're 30 years old, 40 years old, it comes up that annuity is due, well, then you can do a 1035 exchange and you can just continue to let it roll. Now, inherited IRA, because of the good old CARES Act and the rules have changed there, I personally will not put someone in an inherited IRA into an annuity.
Okay.
I know there are some products out there that will allow you to do 10% of the original premium put in, but
you can take the 10%
out. You can
out.
take of the original premium you put in. But what if it gains? So can you take 10% of the account value? I think it can become very complicated very quick. Sure. And compared to the amount of business I get in inherited IRAs, it's not, I don't know. I do suspect we are going to be running into that more because the baby boomer generation is getting older. So yeah, I could see that being more of an issue or more of a potential problem we run into. But that being said, I'll absolutely put younger people into annuities, but depends on the type of funds.
Yeah, absolutely. So for you specifically, an inherited IRA is not going to go into an annuity. There are agents that do that. I've worked with agents that have talked about doing that.
I won't say I won't. It's got to be really good circumstances.
Sure. Somebody that knows what they're doing, know what they're getting into with that, and
I know what I'm doing.
Well, I'm saying the client. Well, and that's the way you work with everybody, right? You don't ever encourage it until they understand what's going on.
Yeah, and I never chase the sale. It's what's the purpose of everything. So, inherited IRAs are a little touchy right now. I do suspect insurance companies, because the amount we're going to be seeing that happening, I do suspect insurance companies coming up with some pretty good products that will allow that. Maybe allowing you to pull 10% out, but whatever value's left at the end of the 10 years, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. Or maybe they could do, I guess they could take a 10-year annuity, potentially convert every year. It's built into the annuity where they can convert that. They pay the tax to convert. I'm not sure how that would work. That might be a good question because I do help insurance companies. I get reached out to about product design. So maybe I'll reach out to some of those companies and just see what they have in mind for that. That's interesting because that will happen more. Yeah.
Yeah, especially as we talk about the baby boomers. And these were people that have been over the past however many years really, really great clients for annuity products. They've been great fits for annuities. By and large, that demographic is obviously aging, and there's going to be some people that are going to be inheriting already IRAs
but
that are already in annuities.
Here's what usually happens, Dad would have really wanted me to have that new Corvette. I mean, I know. I can hear him from his grave saying, buy the latest video game equipment.
Sure. Yeah. I know what you mean, though.
Very rarely do inheritances last.
Sure.
I mean, that's just what I found over the years. It's not common. Now, I've had some really good clients that have had big inheritances, and they had nothing before.
Right.
And one of the thought processes was, man, this is my second shot at retirement.
Right.
But what I find funny is when somebody inherits a inheritance and all of a sudden they become stock market experts. Oh, really? If you were that good, how come you have no retirement right now?
Right.
How come you have no savings right now?
How come the first time you're getting in is with your inheritance?
Yeah, I've seen people do that, but it will be something that will happen more.
Yeah, absolutely. So that brings up the question, what's the sweet spot for an FIA?
Oh, definitely 50 to 79, 80. I'd say 50 to 80. Now, the sweet spot to me is 60 to 75.
Sure.
That's kind of the magical spot for me. But
Right.
when you're talking what's a very good age to put someone in, I generally won't even meet with someone under the age of 50.
Right.
Because delayed gratification is not a phrase in the younger generation. True. They don't understand that you can't touch this money. I mean, look at how many home equity loans have come out. Why? They think the equity in their home is a checking account or a savings account. And so they end up never, I mean, I have clients that I've heard in the 40s or people I've talked to in the 40s that, well, I'm never going to pay my home off anyway, so I'm just going to take the equity out. And that's horrible. Debt-free is the way to be when you're retiring. I mean, I'm going to coin that phrase. Debt-free is the way to be
when you're a retiree.
Brought to you by Chad Owen.
I just added a third rhyme. Did you
What's
hear
that? No.
Debt-free is the way to be when you're a retiree.
Yeah, that's horrible.
It's pretty good.
Let's go.
Feel free to use it. Since Chad doesn't want to, you can.
you turn it into a Southern jingle, then we might do that.
Okay,
don't do it right now. Please don't do it right now. Okay.
I won't do it now, but no, that's good. And so you're saying 50 to 80 generally, but really that sweet spot, 55, 65, that range. I really love to see it. As somebody that gets to help agents, I love to see when the client can defer for a decent amount of time before, if they're needing income, if income is the concern, before they turn that on.
Yeah, I mean, that's ideal, but that's not.
It's rare.
I keep thinking my favorite son-in-law could actually sing that jingle in a Johnny Cash voice.
He sure could, and it's not this one either.
But anyway, it's to me, retirement and annuities always come into, when do you not want to have market volatility?
Right.
Everything revolves around that. Well, should I do an annuity now? Well, when do you want to get out of market volatility?
Sure.
Well, I'm too old for an annuity. Well, you're too old to protect money? I'm too young for an annuity. Well, you're too young to protect money?
Right.
So everything, I'm telling you, everything I do is driven around the purpose of safety and security.
Absolutely.
Not age. Now, there are products, and we all know this, there's products that are way better. Like if you're under 50 years old, there's not a lot of really good income rider products out there.
Right.
There really aren't. And someone that's 47 years old, I'm looking for that. I'm really trying to find someone. Now, do I want income riders? Absolutely. I'm all about investing in all sorts of things, but if brings up an interesting point of how many agents sell annuities but don't own themselves.
It's true.
I mean, my number one product I use right now, I own that.
Right.
In the same exact index strategy too.
And you can then tell clients, I own this annuity. When you're
I've made more off of my annuity than I have ever I've made more having my own annuity than I have in my annuity.
Sure.
And it's just because I do believe in what I do. And I'm 47. So, yeah, it's funny, though, because I have met with 45-year-olds that, well, I don't want to tie up that money. You can't touch it till 59 and a half anyway.
Right.
So, yeah, it's always purpose-driven.
Absolutely. Yeah. Always figuring out what is the purpose of the money and then figuring out from there what's going to be the best for their situation. Not what company has the best agent incentives, not what company's paying out the highest commission, what is going to be best for their situation. And really, as an agent, I would encourage every agent listening to this, work with your marketing organization and see what are they recommending in general cases and situations, but do your own research and due diligence as well to really make sure, because I know there are times when sometimes marketing organizations will, try to push for their own bottom line, and there's some product pushing that can be going on there. So it's really having the client's best interest at heart, and I have no doubt that our listeners do, but it's always good to reiterate.
Sure.
Absolutely. Well, that's a great start to a really great episode, actually.
So that's it?
Well, that's all I've got for today.
Wow, that's interesting. I thought it was going to be more life-changing. No, I'm totally joking. If you can, I'll tell you, tapping into younger clients, that is, I do see some agents doing that lately, and they've done very well at it. But one of the reasons I actually went to business on my own was because the guy that was teaching me how to sell annuities was putting college students into them, telling them that they could use those annuities to pay for college. I'm like, no, you can't.
Whoa. Sorry, for those of you that are just listening, my eyes just got huge. You didn't hear anything. But
I was like, if this guy is misrepresenting this way it is, it just blew me away. And this product had big surrender charges.
Right.
I remember telling him, hey, you can't do that. He's like, well, hey, they got a 10% bonus, so a 10% surrender, 10% penalty means nothing. I said, it does too, because the reality is you're misrepresenting the product. But if you do it right, honestly, it can be a good market to tap into. I also, let's balance this out too. I don't usually write annuities for anybody over the age of 85 as well.
Right.
So that's just something we want to make sure. It's funny, we got our technical difficulties behind us. It's okay, though. I can see through the window. I love this because we are live and this is what we do. But over the age of 85, I'm generally not going to write an annuity for.
Sure.
Why? Because you put anybody in a brand new annuity at 85 years old, you have surrender charges. That's just something I don't do as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I've got one more thing.
Sure.
If you're using leads and somebody is 35, 40, 45 years old, and they're reaching out to get information about these products, more than likely that individual is considering delayed gratification, like you would say, right?
You would think.
You've come across very, very different
Yes, and it
people
never
with the
works
mindset
out.
that it's going to be the next gold mine for them or something.
I think the youngest person I've ever written an annuity for is me.
Really?
Yes. When I was 43 years old. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, there you have that.
I don't know. I might have maybe a 40-year-old at one time, because I remember one of the products at one time, they had a 20-year income guarantee, and they were retiring at 60, so I think I do remember that, but it's not common.
Well, I'll say, as a young person, I wish young people understood the way that they can benefit them, but then actually had that mindset of delayed gratification.
I have an annuity sale right here as soon as it gets money.
I'll sell me my own.
And that's true, you are. No, you're not licensed yet.
Oh, yeah.
You will be. You are? Mm-hmm. Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. First moment of encouragement live. Well, I hope this helps you guys. You have a great day. And once again, be very specific on who you help with annuities and make sure the product suits what they want to do. Have a great day.